Hi friends, it's Lori with Main Street Gardener, and today is the probably last video tour that I'll do until maybe we have some snow, if we get any this year. So it is November and the garden is starting to go to sleep. We've had a light frost. We're going to have a night at 29 this coming week. So I thought it was kind of my last day to get out while things were still really beautiful and to just give you a look of the garden in fall. I've really enjoyed this year as I've started my YouTube channel capturing all the seasons of the garden and all the various projects. So I thought it might be fun to just walk around, see what things look like, what plants are just thriving at this time of year, things that you might consider adding to your garden in the future, and what is working in a Zone 7B here on the East Coast. So I am in the middle of the garden. My garden is set up with 4 quadrants and 2 kind of long primary borders. We have a very narrow historic property in our downtown right off our main street. That's how I got the channel name. And because the property is so long and narrow, I have this primary garden space, my patio garden, and then the shade garden. So today I just thought we'd walk through a little bit, talk about what plants are just really thriving this time of year, and we'll just kind of walk and stroll, and I'll play some music and hopefully just enjoy the beauty of this season. It will be time to start holiday decorating probably next week. I am really excited this year. I've got some great ideas for the garden and just want to do some fun things and enjoy the season. You know, why not? Not spending a lot of money, just really using what I have, things in nature, and making it beautiful. So, all right, let's enjoy November and the garden. So we had a really large windstorm 2 nights ago. It brought in a little bit cooler temperature, but it's gorgeous today. I need to really get a lot done out here. I have not blown the leaves, but I think they add a lot of charm to the winter garden. So this time of year, our grass actually comes to life. We had a fungus this year on our grass. It looked so bad this summer, but it's starting to recover and come back in, which is really nice. I think a star of the garden in all 4 seasons is this vine. It's a major wheeler vine, and it's amazing. It's still blooming, little red blooms, but it's also got little red berries that kind of start orange, turn to red, and it's of course gotten huge. Now, if you watch my videos, I pruned this back really hard in the early spring, and it of course recovered beautifully. So I will probably do that again next year just because I need to keep it tamed. It's on a sundial to tour, and I love it in this spot, but it of course needs to stay managed. If you have a space where you could really grow a vine, like a fence or a huge wall, major wheeler would be absolutely a favorite for me. I love it. It's just done great. Now, something else that's doing great right now is this catmint nepeta. It has not stopped blooming, and of course there's still yellow jackets on it. I cut it back late summer and it came back out, and it has really loved the cooler weather. So it is a bright spot. I've got some more that I want to add, and then of course I have a whole border of it alongside the other flower beds. But this little spot's been great. So if you don't have a crabapple tree, you need one, I promise. I'm so glad we went with crabapple trees here. I wish I had done 2 in the other beds, but I also wanted some sunshine plants. This tree is amazing. So it is a persistent variety. That means that the berries don't drop. A lot of the old-fashioned crabapples make the big apples and they fall all over the ground. These stay on the tree, and every morning I can see out of my bedroom window, the birds are just devouring them. So there's enough berries. They'll probably last through January. The squirrels don't eat them, just the birds. And it just gives you this seasonal color. The leaves change. It's just like this fiery yellow orange with the red. It's absolutely stunning and absolutely one of my favorites. So really enjoy these trees, and they just bring so much to the garden space. These 2 garden beds were the first that I designed, And I've evolved them a little bit, but they are my favorites. I just love them. So in the season of autumn, they really shine as much as they do during the growing season, and maybe even a little bit more because of the fall color. So this is the early evolution hydrangea, and it starts the earliest. It blooms probably by May, June. It's a white, beautiful, fresh bloom. The leaves stay really dark green, and then throughout the season it gets pink, it gets kind of ivory, and then in the autumn we have this gorgeous bronze color. The other beauty is the leaves. I mean, just the fall color on here is so gorgeous. So absolutely love. That is by Monrovia. I found them at Home Depot. You can find them online. It's the early evolution hydrangea. They also stay pretty small. They can manage shade or sun. So I discovered that one 2 years ago and added it to the garden, and it is definitely 5-star. The other thing is I constantly mention the little quickfire hydrangea, and so that beauty is right here and just doing amazing. I think the other thing is, the other thing I love about these two garden spaces is I have filled them with a variety of ground cover. So I've got ajugas, I've got a variety of different kinds of ajugas, low growing grasses, just all kinds of things that really, I think, make the space really lush versus having to mulch it a lot and seeing all that dark mulch. I love having all the foliage throughout the garden. Another plant that is just a real stunner right now is I think they're Everilo or it's a yellow sedge that is evergreen in the winter, and it really thrives in the fall. So that plant is absolutely doing amazing as well. Let me show you the other crabapple tree bed. So here's this tree bed. And again, I wanted to show you all the ground cover. I have a variety here, and I think it's so beautiful. It just kind of happened that way. I have some low-growing sedum. This is a type of ajuga that spreads really well, and it's helped so much with the weed pressure in here. Now, I still have weeds, but I don't have as many as I had before. This is a dark purple ajuga. Back here, I've got weeds. So I do want to get plugs in the spring and really fill the rest of this garden with more ajuga and other forms of ground cover. I would love some more of the sedum. Here's a close-up of those early evolution hydrangeas and the gorgeous fall foliage of the crabapple tree and the little quickfire behind it. All right, so let's continue our stroll. I do want to show you down on the patio the hollies that we planted last spring. These are compact hollies, are doing amazing. Again, I need to take a warm fall day and come out here and weed. I like to get the weeds up before they set seed, and I do have some type, I actually don't think it's necessarily a weed. I think it is something that's seeded here, but I do want to get that up. And I wanted to show you the gorgeous Cascade Fairy Trail cascading hydrangea. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep her here, but I think I am, but I may move this container. But look at the fall color. I'm really impressed. She's gotten some growth on her, and I think she's going to stay in this container after all. So I think she's really beautiful, and I have an idea where I may want to put her in the actual garden as kind of a showstopper and also to hide something. So we'll see how that goes. This is a Weigelia, and it is just not my favorite. You can see it does get gorgeous spring blooms, but in the autumn and with frost, it just doesn't really hold up. And it actually almost looks like, yeah, some things have just already started to die. I'm going to see how it looks this spring, but I have such small real estate. This may be a spot that I move and add something else. I think I'd really like a 9-bark here because they're so reliable in my area. And I'll show you a 9-bark so you can compare the difference in these two plants. Okay, so as we make the way up the garden, this is the garden space that I just redid, added the Walker's Low Nepeta along the border, added the lavender. We added some little lime punch hydrangeas. I think this corner is going to be stunning. I do have a wilted dahlia, so I've got to cut that guy out. But look at this fall color with the spirea that's not blooming, but it's just got that kind of tinge of red and pink. I'm a huge spirea fan. I love the evergreen boxwood. And then we've got the yellow behind it. And then the viburnum in the back is getting that red color, as well as it is a type of 9 bark. It's getting really red. Now this guy did not do good last winter. So we're gonna see how it does this winter. And then everything is backdropped with the blue cypress tree. Now what's interesting is this cascading buddleia has not stopped blooming. Again, we're going to be getting a 29-degree night, and I am sure she is going to wilt and just look really bad. And this is the plant that in the spring I am going to push back. She needs to be moved back. I have kind of a hole in the garden, so that is the first thing I'll be doing in the spring. It's kind of giving her a boot back, and I think it'll really just make this garden work a lot better. The sunshine ligustrum here have done okay. They stay really yellow, and as fall has come, they've gotten a little darker green and then yellow at the tops. But I do like them. I am going to keep them kind of shaped. They're a little squirrely right now, so I'm probably going to come in and try to prune those and just take off a little bit of it. And then this garden bed is the one that I have worked the hardest on this year. It's really had a transformation. It has been exactly a year since I took out the raised bed boxes. That was a big decision, but I'm so glad I decided to do it. So we've had such a warm October and now November that my hydrangeas bloomed a second flush, which was amazing. This is the Quickfire Fab. And then actually, let me show you. So right here, this is an early evolution bloom. It decided to bloom again. Get down so you can see it. It's beautiful. It's an ivory color, and I think I may just cut it and enjoy it. So pretty. So I've got lots of different hydrangeas popped in all around this garden, a spirea in the back. Oh, there's another hydrangea bloom. Oh my goodness. Look at that bloom. It's just beautiful. So the bed has evolved. I'm excited to see how it does next spring. I've got it packed with hydrangeas and ground cover and roses. This rose has bloomed again. So sweet and beautiful. She's trying to put on some growth, but of course it's going to get cold. I've added lots of ajuga, all the lavender along the front. And of course I've got lamb's ear, which I probably will have to take some out next year. But I am really enjoying how it's coming together. The center container, I had a lot of learnings on this year. And we're going to be judging that up for the holidays. But I'm excited. I think that this space is going to come to life and really be beautiful next year. And the star of this garden is the Jane Magnolia tree. And she doesn't do that much for fall. She's not a big fall showstopper. But I love her mini trunks. And I think that adds a lot of fall interest. Okay, so we'll stop here at the raised bed garden. Everything is still looking beautiful. I'll probably come in the day of that 29-degree night and cut these blooms. But this container is all perennials, so it should stay pretty through the season. This one, of course, these are going to probably die back, and I may just be deciding to go ahead and fill these with tulips. But I wanted to show you all the little seedlings, and I think I've kept the critters out. They are coming along. There might have been a critter sneaking in there, but it's looking good. I do need to give these guys some water, and I will put the frost cloth on because they're a little tender. I want to give them some time to adjust to the cold because we've been so warm. Now up here, the spirea here puts on gorgeous fall color. And of course, the entire shade garden is just a masterpiece for fall. It's just full of yellows and golds and all the rich colors. So I complained a lot about this sweet spire shrub. She was up in the main garden and I moved her, but wow, I'm so glad I moved her. She is beautiful back here. It adds some gorgeous fall color. And I think the pops of white in the spring are going to be absolutely stunning. Ooh, the wind is picking up. Let's go see the rest of the garden. So here's the driveway bed. This is what's left of the limelight. This is a great example though. I am going to come in and I will go ahead and cut these back. I just don't want the breakage. And you can see some of these branches, this branch needs to be cut completely. Now I won't do that hard, but I am going to go ahead and cut these back. This is also rubbing. So it's okay to cut your hydrangeas back if it's going to prevent breakage, if it's going to prevent splitting. This has been here for 5 years and I want it to continue to be beautiful in the garden. So I'm just going to do a little cutback on it now that we're about to get that first frost. I love this view of the garden space. Now this space looks a little empty, but I have added some new hydrangeas that are supposed to get really large. I also have baptisia here that I just cut back. Now all these leaves and all the weeds are going to get cleaned up. And I will remulch this after the leaves all come down, which I think is going to be a little early this year. We're probably a couple weeks away, but I do like to clean up before the holidays. But let me show you more of this view. All right, so it is starting to get really windy. The fall foliage is it's just moving out of here fast. We've had a lot of wind come in. We get wind right before a cold front. But this is my favorite trellis. This is the Jardin trellis from Gardener's Supply. And on it is a small rose and the major wheeler. The major wheeler made it all the way across this year. And it needs a little haircut, and then I'll give it more of a trim in the spring. The other thing up here I wanted to show you is just the containers. These I have enjoyed now for almost 3 months. Sweet William, the sedum, some little mums that are still blooming. I should have probably deadheaded. There's lots of blooms. The cold front will get them. I could try to cover them, which I may do, because it's just one night and then it's going to warm back up. So I'll have to think about that. But it's been so fun to go on this journey this year, sharing my garden on YouTube. If you've enjoyed my content, please take a minute to click subscribe, leave me a comment. And I just really wanted to capture the garden from last winter through this winter, which we're almost there. It's been a full year and the garden has just been such a joy to work in and to learn from. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye, everybody.